Hey, this is Nita with the Timepiece Garden. And I told y'all I would let y'all know how well this screen works. And overall, for keeping the bugs out, the screen itself does fine. And once I got the gap here at the top of the seam fixed, does that make sense? The rest of these guys tend to stay together. You know, now that they've hung for a while and got any folds or creases out of them, they tend to stay together well. But yeah, now we're at that temperature change. Where I have cold mornings and warm afternoons, and the adhesive is not sticking. I mean, this is across the roof. So, you know, you can see large gaps, you know, which is how wasps get in the house. See, this whole corner here is not attached either anymore. I tears Miss Pants out, Bears. You go push, push, push. And it doesn't necessarily go back together when Panda comes in. So anyway, my thought process is, long term, if I want to continue to use it, and I do, because it does keep the bugs out, and cold mornings are cold mornings, but warm afternoons, I don't need the air conditioning, I just need the door open. I gotta figure out what I need to do with it. And it's probably gonna be do some, like 2x2s, you know, something that will fit in the gap here, that I can then staple the screen to, like I have at the workshop door. Yeah, because having it gap up here, that makes sense, and I know you can see that. We'll let wasps in just like the front door does, you know, because the gap that's in it, and the gap is all the way across the top. It doesn't support the weight or the incoming and outgoing of using it. So, you know, I'll figure out something. It won't be today. It's not today's chore. Just figured I told y'all when I hung it up, I'd let y'all know. I'd give you a little review. The screen itself is awesome. The door, after it hung for a while, and any wrinkles from where it was in the box you got out of it, they now seal up together, which is awesome. The glue is not good. And what's crazy is it is stuck to the paneling. It doesn't stick to the fabric itself. So that's where my problem is. So anyway, I'll figure something out. And yeah, just figured I'd let you know. Afternoon. This is Panda and Miss Nita with the Timepiece Garden. Yeah, Panda's playing in the water. So, all the fun stuff that goes on. You can tell by looking at the grass and how brown it is. It has just been a really dry year. So they're talking maybe at 3:15 I might have some rain. It's only like a 35% chance. And if you've been with the channel any length of time, you know 35% means it's going to go around me. Berryville on the other side of the mountain might get a lot of rain. I'm not getting any rain. Yeah. So what am I doing? Giving my babies some water. They need it. They're getting a little too droopy for me. There's stuff that I want to do, in this garden before I start losing all my leaves. And they're starting to turn yellow, so I'm going to have to start focusing on this. The Delilah's there. I need to move them so I can get to the rock and change out my hummingbird feeder without breaking my Delilah flowers. So that whole area I've got to redo a little. I already know that some of my woolly lambs there, I want to move back to the garden. Same thing, it needs to go to sleep here, wake up back there. You know, just little things like that. And then, you know, just stuff to do, and I'll talk about all that when I get there. I'm not there yet. Move my mums. They don't get enough water over here, and being so dry this year, they've done really poorly. So I'm probably going to move them too. Anyway, a little bit of water. They're talking 2 days from now. It's the same thing. There's a 40% chance of rain. Now, that can change in 2 days. I just don't think it will. So, a little bit of watering. Yeah, and we'll just, you know, do what we do. Panda's loving it. She's playing, chasing squirrels, chasing critters. playing in the water and then going back and playing again wherever she's at. So she's having a great time today. And I'm going to stay in the house and work on gourds. You know, it's just how it is. Some days you're feeling it, some days you're not. I'm not feeling outside today. So with that, y'all have an awesome day. And Miss Panda and I, she was looking, yeah, up the tree to see if the squirrel's in there. But she and I will talk to you later. Alrighty, there's Mr. Miniature Santa. He's only that high. Again, this is one of those little mini gourds. That's the basic of his face. Blue eyes, gold glasses. You know, he's got a... let's turn it the other way so you can see it. He's got a green hat kind of flopped over to the side. He's got a plaid jacket on. And he's happy to see you here. Now I still have to put his polyurethane coat on him. So he's, you know. Otherwise, other details, if you look at his glasses, they're black. But depending upon where the light is, they're gold. And also, if you look, there's some little white lines to make it look like the light is reflecting off glass. But there he is, hanging out. All right, talk to you in a few. So you look at some places on the property and you just can't tell it's fall. There's still a whole lot of green there, you know? And then you come around and you look at other places, like there's some yellow, you know, which is kind of cute. But over there in the lower right corner, that branch is like, look, fall is here. Isn't that just insane, his colors? And it's just that branch. The rest of the tree is still green. He's like, no, we're green. And the branch was like, no, it's fall. Isn't that awesome? I don't know. Sometimes nature is crazy. I'd have to have a lot of green. But fall's coming. Make no mistake. I do expect more trees to start turning quickly because we're having chillier evenings. Yeah, I'm still really green. It's all right. I'll get there. Y'all have a good evening. So if you've been with the channel for a while, you know that I paint in layers. Since you know that I will draw something first in pencil, I'll lean him forward so you can see there's a little bit of pencil marking on there. You know, and then from there I go back in with black paint. And he looks kind of cartoony. Yes, this is the next Santa, and it is how he started out. Now if you look, you don't see a lot of black in him, and you won't see just about any black in him. His pipe will have some black, and his, probably easier to turn him since the light's there, his candlestick here will have some black. But, you know, mostly he won't have any black. Very much like this guy. You know, if we look at him, even up close, like I said, there in his spectacles, you can see the glass, the black, but then you can see where the gold trim is on it. Trying to, there we go. But otherwise, you don't see all his black. You know? Which is the whole point. We as people are not outlined in black. So even if I do something little cartoony Santas like this, they're not outlined in black. Now he does have a little around his eyes. That way they are his eyes. He will end up with the same thing. He will end up with some black around his eyes. You know, eyelashes, etc. We all have them. But this is his start. You know, and we all know I paint in layers. So, yeah. But there he is. There's his start. All right. Talk to you in a few.